Hello, good evening. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from business, economic, and capital market sectors. And as the pandemic is still ongoing, we'll provide you the latest COVID-19 information. Please stay safe by taking some simple precautions, such as physical distancing, wearing a face mask, avoiding crowds, cleaning your hands, and having less mobility. With me, Wicky Adrian, this is Market Headlines. President Joko Widodo wants Indonesia to stop exporting crude palm oil. The reason is the president wants the commodity can be processed into value-added derivative products.
President Joko Widodo wants Indonesia to stop exporting crude palm oil so that the commodity can be processed into value-added derivative products. President Jokowi said Indonesia must have the courage to stop exports of raw materials despite the potential for lawsuits to the World Trade Organizations. Indonesia must be prepared to face all obstacles in the downstream process of natural resources.
Sawit juga sama, suatu titik nanti stop yang namanya ekspor CPO. Harus jadi kosmetik, harus jadi mentega, harus jadi biodiesel, dan turunan-turunan lainnya. Dan sekali lagi harus punya keberanian. Pabrik di sini mau kita jadikan barang di sini, hak kita dong. Ya kita hadapi, kalau ada yang menggugat kita hadapi, jangan digugat kita mundur lagi. Enggak akan kesempatan itu datang lagi, peluang itu datang lagi, enggak akan. Ini kesempatan kita bisa mengintegrasikan industri-industri besar yang ada di dalam negeri.
In addition to CPO, President Jokowi also plans to stop the export of raw bauxite. He asked that domestically produced bauxite should be processed into alumina and aluminum metal. Bauxite is a commodity that is prohibited by the government from being exported after nickel. President Jokowi said he would not back down to stop the export of raw materials and seek domestic downstreaming. IDX Channel Reports.
The International Monetary Fund projects Indonesia's economic growth at 3.2% throughout 2021, a decline compared to the previous projection. The IMF said the decline in projections was caused by global risks, including a reduction in economic stimulus in various countries.
The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, projects that Indonesia's economic growth will be at 3.2% throughout 2021. This projection is lower than the 3.9% forecast in July 2021. The decline in projections is caused by the shadow of global risks that need to be watched out for in the future, including an unsustainable recovery, evenly due to vaccine inequality, the development of COVID-19 mutations, inflation risk, financial market volatility, and the decline in economic stimulus in various countries. Head of the Fiscal Policy Agency, Ministry of Finance, Febrio Kacaribu, said the government would be aware of this global risk to maintain the economic recovery that has occurred. His party ensures that economic and fiscal policies will continue to be directed to support efforts to control the pandemic, maintain the sustainability of economic recovery, and accelerate structural reforms. Febrio said the COVID-19 pandemic is still the focus of the government's attention. Even though it has passed the peak of the COVID-19 wave due to the Delta variant, the capability in handling the pandemic will continue to be improved. Along with the improvement in the pandemic, Febrio said the momentum for economic recovery has also strengthened, especially since September 2021. This is reflected in various economic indicators such as population mobility and the manufacturing PMI, which has returned to expansionary level. IDX Channel Reports.
The Governor of Bank of Indonesia, Periwarjo, hopes that the Indonesian economy in the third quarter of 2021 can grow by 5%. Then economic growth in the fourth quarter of 2021 must be 4.5% in order to achieve growth in the range of 3.5 to 4.3% throughout 2021. Perry believes that growth is still realistic considering the economic recovery has begun. In the second quarter, the economy had already grown 7.07% on an annual basis. Then next year, Bank of Indonesia projects that the economy will grow higher. Furthermore, Periwarjo said the economic growth will be supported by investors, both money market and capital market investors. He believes that Indonesia needed the presence of investors to make the economy much more resilient and revived. The investors are large investors, medium investors to retail investors who experienced an increase during the COVID-19 pandemic. Moving on to global update, Russia denies using energy as a political weapon amid surging gas prices across Europe. Meanwhile, Apple is likely to slash its projected iPhone 13 production targets for 2021 as prolonged chip shortages hit its flagship product. More stories on today's International Minute.
Russia has denied using energy as a political weapon amid surging prices across Europe that have sent gas bills in many households skyrocketing. Russia, one of Europe's biggest natural gas providers, has been accused of intentionally withholding supplies. President Vladimir Putin said such claims were complete rubbish and politically motivated tittle. The European Commission has been outlining measures member states can take to combat rising prices. Apple is likely to slash its projected iPhone 13 production targets for 2021 by as many as 10 million units as prolonged chip shortage hit its flagship product, according to people with knowledge of the matter. The company had expected to produce 90 million new iPhone models in the last 3 months of the year, but is now telling manufacturing partners that the total will be lower because Broadcom Incorporation and Texas Instruments Incorporation are struggling to deliver enough components. The European Union has offered to reduce customs checks and paperwork on British products intended for its province of Northern Ireland in the hope of averting a new Brexit clash with the United Kingdom. The offer was part of the set of wide-ranging proposals designed to solve problems in post-Brexit trading arrangements in Northern Ireland that London says are reigniting inter-community tensions. A team of EU negotiators on Wednesday delivered the plans to London, a day after the UK's Brexit Minister David Frost said the current policy on Northern Ireland, known as the Protocol, should be ripped up. The World Health Organization has said the emergency use listing process for Russia's Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine was on hold pending some missing data and legal procedures, which the UN body hopes will be sorted out quite soon. Mariangela Simao, who Assistant Director General for Access to Medicines and Health Products, said that as soon as an agreement was reached, the WHO will reopen the case and assess data that was submitted, even though it was still incomplete, and resume manufacturing site inspections in Russia. IDX Channel Reports.
Market headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Jika Anda adalah investor saham, Anda mendapat keuntungan di antaranya capital gain, yaitu keuntungan dari selisih harga beli dan harga jual saham. Dividend, yaitu pembagian laba kepada pemegang saham. Keuntungan lainnya, investor bisa memperoleh pendapatan tambahan dengan meminjamkan sahamnya melalui layanan pinjam meminjam efek atau PME. Apa itu PME? PME merupakan pinjaman efek sementara berupa saham dari investor untuk keperluan penyelesaian transaksi bursa. Apa saja manfaat yang didapatkan? Investor memperoleh keuntungan Investor tetap dapat menerima dana sebagai pengganti dividen jika ada pembagian dividen saat sahamnya sedang dipinjamkan. Pendapatan yang diterima investor dari layanan PME dapat digunakan untuk membayar biaya penyimpanan saham. Saat nilai saham turun, investor tetap dapat memperoleh pendapatan hingga mengurangi potensi kerugian. Dan yang terpenting, KPEI menjamin pengembalian saham yang dipinjamkan sesuai waktu yang telah ditentukan. Menarik bukan? Prosesnya sangat sederhana. Investor cukup menghubungi perusahaan sekuritas dan menandatangani formulir perjanjian PME. Selanjutnya, jika terdapat kebutuhan penyelesaian transaksi bursa oleh peminjam, saham yang akan dipinjamkan diserahkan kepada KPEI melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Setelah proses PME selesai, maka KPEI akan mengembalikan saham yang telah dipinjamkan dan memberikan pendapatan kepada investor melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Segera hubungi perusahaan sekuritas Anda, Customer Care KPEI, atau kunjungi website kami untuk mengetahui layanan PME. PME, pinjamkan sahamnya, dapatkan manfaatnya.
Welcome back. The Turkish government said it would provide a visa-free policy for Indonesian citizens who wish to enter Turkish territory. This was conveyed by the Turkish Foreign Minister to Indonesian Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi in a bilateral meeting held in Ankara, Turkey. Retno explained that the visa-free policy would be implemented in the near future. However, detailed information regarding the policy will be announced after further decisions are made. Not only discussing visas, the bilateral meeting also discussed many issues in the fields of health, defense, economy, and the latest international issues. During the visit to Ankara, Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi was also accompanied by a team from the Ministry of Health, Pertamina, and Waskita Karya.
The history of our friendship goes a long way back, even as far as the 15th century. And today, our partnership is robust and has grown even stronger amidst the pandemic. Turkey is among countries that intensified its cooperation with Indonesia during the pandemic. The discussion is that we share the same views on the importance of cooperation to accelerate economic recovery. We agreed to establish a travel corridor arrangement between two countries, and this arrangement is crucial to facilitate safe movement of our business people and will also serve as a basis to gradually reopen safe tourism, medicine. Furthermore, I'm also glad that today we are able to have the joint declaration to develop mutual recognition on COVID-19 vaccine certificate. This declaration is very important in recognizing vaccine, especially ones that have received WHO AUL, as well as preventing the discrimination.
To return economic growth to its pre-pandemic trajectory, Bappenas implemented an economic transformation strategy and placed the green economy as one of the game changers in the economic transformation.
National Development Planning Minister, currently Bappenas head Suharso Monoarfa, stated that green economy is one of the game changers for the nation to break free from the middle income trap. Monoarfa continued to lay emphasis on the importance of high economic growth in order to achieve that goal. In terms of the economy, a major strategy is required to return Indonesia's economic growth to its trajectory before COVID-19 struck. To this end, low-carbon development has become one of the national priorities in the midterm development plan and acts as an important backbone to realizing a green economy for sustainable development.
Berbagai tantangan tersebut menunjukkan urgensi bagi Indonesia untuk membangun kembali dengan lebih baik atau build back better pasca pandemi ini. Maka Bappenas menetapkan strategi transformasi ekonomi untuk mengembalikan pertumbuhan ekonomi ke trajektori sebelum pandemi dan menempatkan ekonomi hijau atau green economy sebagai salah satu game changer dalam transformasi ekonomi tersebut. Berbagai temuan studi di tingkat global menunjukkan bahwa dukungan investasi terhadap pembangunan rendah karbon pasca pandemi memiliki dua manfaat. Pertama, dalam jangka pendek, mendorong peningkatan lapangan pekerjaan hijau atau green jobs, dan yang kedua, dalam jangka panjang dapat mempertahankan pertumbuhan ekonomi yang lebih stabil dan berkelanjutan.
In addition, he pressed for assistance and collaborations among stakeholders to ensure a fair transition toward net zero emissions and green economy in the future. IDX Channel Reports.
Presiden Joko Widodo inaugurated the merger of Indonesian state-owned ports, Pelabuhan Indonesia Persero or Palindo. The President appreciated the efforts of all parties in realizing the Palindo Merger. The President Director of Palindo, Arif Suhartono, said that the merger of Palindo had been discussed since 20 years ago, but it has only been realized now. Meanwhile, regarding the Palindo merger, Presiden Joko Widodo hopes that there will be improvements in logistic costs in Indonesia so that they become more competitive compared to other countries.
Penggabungan Pelindo telah diwacanakan sejak lebih dari 20 tahun yang lalu, namun baru terrealisasi. Hal ini tidak terlepas dari dukungan pemerintah yang luar biasa, khususnya Kementerian BUMN dan Kementerian Perhubungan, serta kementerian terkait lainnya, dan juga dukungan dari parlemen.
Hari ini, alhamdulillah, tadi sudah disampaikan oleh Dirut Pelindo, Pak Arif, sudah terjadi Pelindo 1, Pelindo 2, Pelindo 3, Pelindo 4 menjadi PT Pelindo atau PT Pelabuhan Indonesia. Apa yang ingin kita harapkan dari sini? Yang pertama, sekali lagi, biaya logistik kita bisa bersaing dengan negara-negara lain. Artinya daya saing kita, competitiveness kita akan menjadi lebih baik. Yang kedua, saya juga minta agar ini dipartnerkan. Carikan partner yang memiliki networking, memiliki jaringan yang luas.
Minister of Communications and Informatics Johnny G. Plate has expressed the hope that Indonesia will soon have another decacorn, or a startup with a valuation of more than $10 billion.
Minister of Communications and Informatics Johnny G. Plate has expressed the hope that Indonesia will soon have another decacorn. Indonesia currently has 8 unicorns, which are Tokopedia, Traveloka, OVO, Bukalapak, JNT Express, Online Pajak, Sandit, and Ajaib. According to data collected by Google, Temasek, and Bain in 2020, digital startups got a boost during the pandemic due to an increase in the number of people using digital services. On a global and national scale, innovation and utilization of digital technology have been accelerated due to the pandemic, the minister said. According to Plate, collaboration between Indonesian startups such as Gojek and Tokopedia has been encouraged for the consolidation of e-commerce platforms. Such collaborative efforts are expected to strengthen the national digital economy ecosystem. Meanwhile, to support the growth of the digital financial sector, the Ministry of Communication and Informatics has implemented 3 policies, namely equitable distribution of digital infrastructure development, digital ecosystem governance, and digital talents. IDX Channel Reports.
Stay with us because Market Headlines will be right back after the break.
Ingin menjalani kehidupan yang mapan dan masa depan yang sejahtera? Sikapi uang dengan bijak. Mulailah berinvestasi di pasar modal. Dengan membeli saham melalui Bursa Efek maupun perusahaan sekuritas, Anda dapat menikmati hasil keuntungan dari perusahaan-perusahaan besar yang tersedia. Pastikan Anda berinvestasi di perusahaan yang memiliki izin resmi. Cerdas mengelola, masa depan sejahtera. Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, lembaga pengawas industri jasa keuangan yang terpercaya.
Aku mau kalau berbisnis pakai modalku sendiri walaupun kecil, tapi aku benar-benar punya semua decision kan aku. Jadi aku bisa ngelakuin semua yang aku mau. Jadi aku tuh pernah tiba-tiba tuh mikir kayak banyak banget ideku yang orang bilang gila, ngawur, kayak nekat, kayak gitu-gitu kan.
Kayak yang gila, yang nekat itu yang kadang berhasil ya.
Iya.
Seiring meluasnya cakrawala investasi di tengah pasar saham yang dinamis. Analisa mendalam diperlukan untuk menemukan saham berorientasi value yang menghasilkan kinerja yang tinggi. IDX Channel akan mengulas isu pasar dan pergerakan saham terkini. Saksikan ulasannya bersama analis terpercaya hanya di IDX Channel. For the last segment at the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,616.06 and approaching the closing time on the station, the index was on the level of 6,605. Then the index was showing a strengthening trend. By the second session closing time, index was closed at the level of 6,626.11. In short, JCI went up 1.36%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. True went up 15.69% to the level of 236 per share. Wins went up 15.65% to the level of 170 per share. ABBA went up 13.16% to the level of 430 rupiah per share. And SQMI went up 10% to the level of 121 rupiah per share. Meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got ASSA went down 6.88% to the level of 3,520 rupiah per share. VHIT went down 6.76% to the level of 69 rupiah per share. And SWAT went down 6.54% to the level of 143 rupiah per share. DGIK went down 6.25% to the level of 105 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Opened at the level of 14,257 rupiah, was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar. It was closed at the level of 14,220 rupiah. In summary, rupiah went down 0.26%. Petrosi has just received a new mining contract with a subsidiary worth 265 rupiah or million US dollar, or equivalent to 3.6 trillion rupiah.
Petrosi has just received a new mining contract with its subsidiary worth $265 million or equivalent to 3.6 trillion rupiah. According to the corporate secretary of Petrosi, Anto Broto, the acquisition of this new contract occurred between the company as project management and Karya Bumi Lestari as a contractor. It is also explained that the types of contracts are mining service agreements and equipment rental agreements with a contract value of $265 million for a period of 4 years. Furthermore, this 3.6 trillion rupiah contract will provide additional income and strengthen the company's financial condition. For information, Petrosi recorded a net profit growth of 29.8% in first semester. The increase in Petrosi profit was mostly achieved through increased operational activities in the mining contract business line. which total volume of overburden removal increased 26.82% year-on-year to 58.02 million, and coal production increased 25.49% year-on-year to 15.95 million tons. IDX Channel reports.
In order to boost its performance, Palindo Feed Mill is aggressively exporting its product. Recently, the company exported 6 tons of its products to Japan.
In order to boost its performance, even though the COVID-19 pandemic is still ongoing, Palindo Feed Mill is aggressively exporting its products, especially to Japan. The official statement noted the company that owns Sunny Gold Products, Palindo, exported 6 tons of products in the form of nuggets and karage on September 28, 2021. Previously, through several products, Palindo Feed Mill managed to penetrate its first export to Japan in September 2020 through collaborations with the diaspora, which has a halal culinary business in Japan. For additional information, the company recorded a net profit of 128.6 billion rupiah in the first 6 months of this year. Meanwhile, in the same period last year, Palindo still had a net loss of 44.22 billion rupiah. Not only positive achievement from the bottom line, means that Palindo net sales also recorded an increase of 43.41% from 3.19 trillion rupiah in the first half of 2020 to 4.57 trillion rupiah at the end of June 2021. IDX Channel reports.
Step aside from market condition as the efforts in achieving herd immunity is still going on. Here it is an update data about COVID-19 vaccinations in Indonesia. And the news closes our market lines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. To prevent the spread of COVID-19, always wear a face mask and get vaccinated immediately. Masks have been shown to reduce the risk of transmission of 80%, while vaccines minimize the risk of death by 73%. So let's wear a mask and get vaccinated, because masks and vaccines keep us healthy and happy. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening and stay safe.